How you doing? So here are the top 7 best champions for Glitch Incursion. Mutant, Science, and Mystic only. So I do think I do thought it was only for Valiant players, but I guess I misread it. So if you're not Valiant, you can do the Glitch Incursion. So why is it only Mutant, Science, and Mystic? So for the first week, you get extra credit, I guess, or you get more rewards. What I mean by that. So when you go in game, it says right here, classy glitches. Defeat 30 opponents in glitch incursion with a mystic, mutant, or science champion. So when it comes to the glitch incursion, to get this credit, you have to use a mystic, mutant, or science champion. You don't have to. Just want to let you know, you can use cosmic if you want to, or what's that? Skill or tech. But this is for the film role, just in case you want to get that reward as well. I just want to remind you guys, just in case you don't see your champions here on this list, it doesn't mean that you should not use that champion, okay? MCOC, especially when it comes to incursion, it should be fun. So just because your champions is not on this list, it doesn't mean you should not use that champion. So let's talk about the top 7 best champions that are Mutant, Science, and Mystic for the Glitch Incursion. So number 7 on the list is Diablo. So let's take a look at the hacks you want to use for Diablo. So here it is. So just in case you don't know, let me just explain the hacks as well. So you are guaranteed 4 hacks, as you can see right there, the top 4. So basically, that's the hacks you want to have with Diablo: Fear, Burst, Rage into Combat, Second Chance, and Proud Degeneration. And the other 4 hacks, 5, 6, 7, 8, those are preferred hacks, but there's a chance you might not get them, okay? But really, you want to get the most important thing is the first 4 hacks, because they're going to be guaranteed. And pretty much any champion that you want to use for incursion, plus 50% stun duration is a must. So fights you want to avoid with Diablo is Biohazard and Ultron. Besides Ultron being poison immune, he does from his waking ability, because I think Diablo is like, does energy damage, and Ultron like reduces the damage from energies, I believe. So you don't want to face Ultron. Not a good matchup for Diablo. So is Biohazard as well. So number 7 is Diablo. Number 6 is Cyclops. If you follow my channel, you've seen plenty of gameplay when it comes to Cyclops. So let's take a look at the hacks for Cyclops. So I have a video, maybe you've seen it. Basically, in the old incursions, you only get 4 hacks, 4 boss hacks. I've used those 4 boss hacks and I've gone very far in incursion. When it comes to common hacks, you definitely want to have special refund. That is a must with Cyclops. Plus 50% stun duration as well, because you can do a medium, light, medium. That will get you a prowess as well. So and then do a medium, light, 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 medium. So you can do an 8-hit combo with a plus 50% stun duration. So that's why you really want to have that as well with a Cyclops. So like I mentioned, I've done it. I have videos in my channels using those 4 guaranteed hacks you have. Okay, so you're gonna have hacks. You're gonna have want to have at least those four hacks to have. And then the 5, 6, 7, 8 hacks, those are valuable but not like very important. Okay, so immediately to bleed and poison. Basically that one is just so you can counter like abomination. Bleed doesn't really matter like Biohazard, because you can make him a horseman. That will make him 100% bleed resistance. Fights you want to avoid with Cyclops is Tyranny and Power Lock, especially Tyranny, because he really relies on his special attacks to do damage. So let's go with number what is that? 5 on the list is Silk. So let's see what Silk is. So pretty much with Silk, when it comes to Titan Combat, it's been nerfed to the ground, unfortunately, but that is still her best hack, okay? And her second best hack is plus 50% stun duration. It's almost a must. You can even make an argument plus 50% stun duration is the most important hack. The you can have with Silk because you can stun lock opponents in most fights. Okay, so title combat and plus 50% stun duration, and as well as toxic siphon. Those are the three most important hacks you want to have with Silk. Immunity to bleed and poison is very valuable, and you're gonna see that later why. And that's gonna be able to counter someone like Biohazard, even better for cow drafts as well. Abomination, he's gonna be more damage mastery friendly, and then second chance just in case you make a mistake. So those four hacks, you really want to have those, and those are will be guaranteed to have for you to choose. And the 5, 6, 7, 8, those are gonna be by chance. You might not get those hacks. Fights you want to avoid with Silk is Stun Immune, Tenacity, and One Eye Open. Those are nodes you want to avoid you fighting with Silk. Because if opponent is Stun Immune, you cannot stun lock them even with the plus 50% stun duration. So when it comes to Neighbor, let's see. What is number what on the list? Number 4 on the list is Neighbor. He's the second most underrated champion in Incursion, I believe. Okay, so these are the hacks you want to use with Namor. I will be going kind of fast on these videos. If you want to pause the video, go ahead. But fights you want to avoid with Namor is Tyranny. Something about Namor is I saw somebody on YouTube, very skilled player, well, maybe not very skilled, but pretty skilled player, was using Namor Unawakened too without damage mastery. Okay, Unawakened Namor against Infinity Iron Man. Okay, with 4 times the PI. It was, I think it was a very skilled player. It was really nice gameplay I saw on YouTube with Namor. So he could do fine against bleed immune champions. I don't know, arguably even better if they were bleed immune, but he'll be, since you have hemostatic charge to be able to use, bleed immune champions, I mean champions that can be bleed is better when it comes to Incursion with the hemostatic charge. Fights you want to avoid is Tyranny. The most underrated, I believe, when it comes to Incursion is Weapon X. Okay, so let's take a look at the hacks for Weapon X. So really, second chance becomes very valuable with him. If you're triggering your what do you call that, berserker phase where you're getting hit, you can practically regen all that damage you could have lost, but you're really not losing health because you're gonna be indestructible. So you're gonna be regening health with second chance. Fury Burst, Hemostatic Charge, and Pyrokinetics. Those are, I would say, 4 hacks you really want to have, and those are going to be guaranteed. Like I mentioned, for pretty much for all of them, you want to have a plus 50% stun duration for all as a common hack to have. 5, 6, 7, 8, not really necessary, but it's definitely going to help him. Especially immune to poison. That's going to be able to counter someone like Abomination, bleed, immunity bleed. You can make him a horseman, so that's not really necessary, but it's good to have, I guess. Fights you want to avoid is obviously Abomination. Well, you can actually take on Abomination if you have the ability to bleed and poison. So if you don't have that, you want to avoid Abomination at all costs because that is instant KO for you. And bleed immune champions as well. You don't want to avoid those because he inflicts bleed to do damage. So number 2 on the list, Morbius. So as you know, when you follow my channel, I do use mostly 6 stars and in some cases even 5 stars. I don't use 7 stars, but I do happen to have a 7-star rank for Sig 200 Morbius. Okay, so let's look at the hacks you want to use with him. So Morbius. So these are the, I would say, the best hacks to use with Morbius. Okay, so you have your 4 guaranteed hacks: Second Chance, Fury Burst, Hemostatic Charge, and Toxic Siphon. So you really would benefit a lot from plus 50% stun duration and special refund. So those are gonna be when it comes to the 4 boss hacks, those will be the ones you're gonna be guaranteed. When it comes to 5, 6, 7, 8, you might get those hacks. If you don't, that's okay, but they're really gonna benefit Morbius a lot. Fights you want to avoid is Lumitrix. I don't, because Lumitrix is immune to bleed. He's also immune to rupture, which is basically the two damage Morbius can do. So I don't think you'll see Lumitrix in Incursion because he is like a one of those collective champions where I think he's a rare champion. And when it comes to Morbius, you really want him to be awakened and preferably at max sig. If you don't have Morbius awakened, you just pretty much not want to use him, because when it comes to Incursion, they're like half of the champions you have to fight are like robots and they're like bleed immune, and you're gonna see what I mean later on. Okay, so when it comes to the two best champions in the game, it's only appropriate to show some gameplay with them. So I should have Morbius gameplay for Glitch Sector all the way to Zone 15 video coming by later today. Okay, so the title will be Morbius taking on Glitch Sector Zone 15. So in here, Morbius can take on Ultron. Okay, he can take on bleed immune champions, but keep in mind you want him awakened, preferably at max sig. So, but in this case, really, like almost like more than half of the fights, boss fights, they're robots, dude. I don't know. They really want to nerf like champions that can inflict bleed because of hemostatic charge, and really a lot of, I do believe because the best champion you'll see why they they think they're gonna nerf him, but I guess they're definitely wrong on that. But I definitely this gameplay was not good. I do think Silk can take this fight. That's why pretty much most of the fights I was using Silk when it comes to the boss. I use them. I use her mostly for robots because even though Morbius can take robots, it's not his ideal fight. So I decided to use Silk here, and really for most of the fights, the boss fights that were robots, I did use Silk. Like I mentioned, Silk can solo this fight with skill gameplay, but unfortunately not not on this case. Okay, and she is, to be fair, she is just a 6-star. Okay, so as you can see, I messed up a few times, and I totally forgot about enroaching stun. And really, you want to have immunity to bleed and poison. As you can see here, I'm gonna get knocked out from the bleed, and you'll see right now, because eventually, there you go. That's why you want to have that immunity to bleed and poison with Silk. Okay, like I mentioned, when it comes to Morbius, you will you really want him awakened, preferably at max sig. Like I mentioned, he's not ideal to fight robots or any really bleed immune champions, but he can do it. And I'm gonna just point out to you right here, prove that he can pretty much take on any fight in Incursion. Okay, except Lumitrix, which you're probably not gonna see in Incursion. So let's take a look at it. So even with really terrible gameplay, you're gonna see right now, I was still able to solo this fight. Well, maybe because one of the benefits of using a 7-star rank 4, right? So the hacks I'm gonna show a little bit later. It was just mostly gonna be for Morbius, specifically Morbius hacks. I do have some hacks that was okay, that was really good for Silk, but most of the hacks I was using here was practically designed for Morbius. So here I forgot about enroaching stun again, but as soon as I knew if I can get to my special 2, this fight is over. And booyah, there it is. Fight is over. So it is gonna be easier if you have Silk with Tide of Combat and plus 50% stun duration, but as you know, she just got KO. I don't know how far I'm gonna go in this account. This is my pay to win account, but I'm not planning to spend any units more. I spent probably more units than I really wanted to for this run, but I'm not going to spend a unit to go further than this, because next month or next week is going to be Mutant. I mean Cosmic Champions, and want to get really far with. So like I mentioned, these are the hacks that I have are just not good for what do you call this, for Silk. Let me just show you again. So hemostatic charge does absolutely nothing for Silk. So is pyrokinetic. So those two hacks doesn't do anything for Silk because you pretty much want to stun lock them while you end with a heavy combo. They used to have draining degen, but Kabam did get rid of it. It was just such a powerful hack for skill Silk, and also when it comes to more we got Mr. Sinister. So as you can see here, just a reminder, since I have skill, a Silk Tidal Combat is a must for her. Toxic Typhon is really good for her as well, and plus 50% stun duration. Those really three hacks are very important for Silk, just in case you missed it. And number one, the king of incursions. Okay, this guy is just a cheat code, man. This guy. I made a video saying, can Mr. Sinister take on robots? And if you follow my channel, you already know that answer. Okay, so let's take a look at what hacks you want to use with Mr. Sinister, the king of incursion. So the top four: rage into combat, fury burst, second chance, mutually assured destruction. Usually I don't really use rage into combat. Not probably I would say second chance and mutually assured is more valuable, but since you're going up against so many robots, that you really want to have that right away, rage into combat, because you're going to see why later on, so you can spam special too. So plus 50% stun duration is also very valuable to have with Mr. Sinister. Okay, and the other 5, 6, 7, 8 hacks, those are good hacks to have, but it's not necessary. So fights you want to avoid with Mr. Sinister, none. Mr. Sinister is this is why he is the king of incursion. Fights you want to avoid, none. Okay, and you're gonna see him here where he's gonna take on. Can he take on robots? Is the question. So I think Kabam thought they could nerf Mr. Sinister by putting robots in incursion, but let's see, can Mr. Sinister take on robots? So this is zone 1, so this is the first boss. Let's see how well he do. So I'm gonna fast move forward it. Yeah, I should. So let's see, can he take on robots? Let's see. This is zone 1, the first robot, and pretty much you're gonna see I'm gonna go to 6 zones, and 6 zones, 5 of them are robots. Like, why, Kabam? They really want to nerf Mr. Sinister, the most balanced champion in the game. Why? He's so balanced. I don't understand why they need to nerf him that way. You know, like put all these robots in incursion. It's crazy, okay? So what else? So number 2, can he take on Nebula this time? Okay, this is, can Mr. Sinister take on robots? Okay, let's see. Ding 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 ding. So the thing about Mr. Sinister, once you get the right hacks, that's why you really want to have rage into combat, and really preferably fury burst as well, of course, to gain, to that's his ability when it comes to every time you gain a fury buff, you gain with a relic, you gain 50% of bar power. So fury burst and ratio to combat is really valuable, and I'm going to show you right now where I stop, and I'm going to show you my hacks and why you want to use them. So another robot, another one, again. So there you go. So number 5. Okay, what's another solo? What the heck is going on? No, did I show you this one? Zone 3. Did I show this fight? I don't think I did. Let's see, can he take on Vision this time? Let's just move forward. Sinister is so balanced. Kabam really did a good job with Mr. Sinister. Completely balanced champion. I think I've showed this one already, right? It happens. You can beat opponents so fast that you got like you fast forward it, the fight is over. Okay, such a balanced champion right here. It's amazing. Okay, let's go to the next one. So these are basically choosing my hacks here. Is this the last one? Let me see. No, I don't think so. Another one, Zone 6. That's like 5 bosses in 6 zones, okay? There are robots, okay? And it's crazy. It's always been Nebula and who else? Ultron. Oh yeah, Vision was the other one. So let's see. Can Mr. Sinister take on the last robot here? Uh, and I'm gonna show you my hacks and how far I am so far in Incursion. So Mr. Sinister, as you already see, you could tell Mr. Sinister can take on robots in Incursion, and really outside of Incursion, probably except Battlegrounds, he can take on robots as you've seen here, and as you've seen in my previous past videos. So as you can see here, I'm in zone 7 and I'm gonna show you my hacks. So really the Fury Burst, Ratio to Combat, those are very important hacks, okay? Those are your hacks you want to get. Strategic movement is nice, but not necessarily. Mutually Assured is another must, I think, with him. What else? Second Chance also, but you're guaranteed to get and when it comes to zone 10, you're guaranteed to choose second chance if you don't have it already. So these are my other hacks to have. So really the increased degeneration is very valuable for Mr. Sinister, especially if you're power lock 1. That's a very valuable to have. Fury Puffs gain 30% ability accuracy is very helpful for sure if you have Fury Burst, because that's increased the chance of you gaining a Fury, and it increases the duration as well. So I might continue. I mean, I'm kind of, this is what I love about MCOC, and this is something I would willing to spend money on when it comes to the game. If I can spend even 10,000 units for this 2 week event just to push the limits, how far so many champions I want to test out, I would love to do that, okay? But you know, this is makes me want to spend money in the game. But as you know, when it comes to this game, I have not spent money in this game for over a year, and I probably wouldn't, because Kabam is Kaskam. Just to let you know, when it comes to, they just had a forum, whatever, a thread, whatever it's called. They they knew Hulkling was nerfed in October. So 3 months ago, they knew Hulkling was nerfed, but they didn't announce it until today, I believe. Okay, so they knew Hulkling was nerfed, but they didn't announce it until today. And then they came up, and then what they said after that is they're saying is due to the long game or health of the game or something like that, we decided that we're gonna keep um, Hulkling nerf. Can you believe Kaskam? Can you believe that? Okay, they knew he was nerfed since October, and then now, since they got your money from the banquet, basically that's their translation. So basically, to translate for you what they were really trying to say, if they were honest, so we knew Hulkling was nerfed in October. We just didn't tell you now uh because of the banquet. So now we have your money. We can nerf Hulkling now, and there's nothing you can do about it. So there you go. It's really unfortunate. Thank you.